Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back, folks. Tuesday after Thanksgiving long is always an interesting one. I, for one, could have used more turkey, but I might be alone in that regard from what I've heard from people. Abby St. John in with me, Josh Ryan, for news, weather, sports, and more. And plenty of commentary in the news about the advanced polls, a record turnout.
Yeah, they received a lot of buzz over the last couple of days through it all. And I think that really just goes to show that people want their voices to be heard. And so they're going out and vote, which is probably the most important part of the entire thing.
Yeah, it's your democratic right, obviously, that every citizen has a chance for. Of course, Election Day will give you another opportunity to do so. For now, let's head out to Eric Bay. He was on location earlier.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are here with the Lloydminster and area archers, and we're going to be talking about what you do have to look forward to here this weekend, as they will be having their open house, so you will have the chance to shoot some of these bows you see here at some of the targets. And I will also be taking a look at how this is done and getting shown the ropes. So you'll definitely have a little bit of a chance to see how this all goes as I'll shoot a bow here later in the show. But before we do get to all that, we're going to head back into the studio, and Abby is going to take a look at your local news.
A local Lloydminster student has been selected to take part in a small provincial youth council for the Saskatchewan government. The student is from Holy Rosary High School and is getting prepared for his first meeting on Saturday. Our Jasmine King has the details.
Nate Burgeon is a grade 11 student at Holy Rosary, and it was recently announced that he would be a part of the Saskatchewan Youth Council, a council that features 12 students from around Saskatchewan school divisions. The council has students ranging from the border city to Regina and further.
I got involved with the youth council last June when our principal, Mr. Oreo, approached me in class, and he informed me that some of the staff here at Holy Rosary thought that I'd make a good candidate for this youth council, and it just kind of lifted off from there. It is such a tremendous honor. I was so excited to find out last week that I made it.
Out of all the students selected, Vince Oreo, principal at Holy Rosary High School, says Nate got the teachers' help in submitting an application to the council, and he's glad to see a student like Nate selected.
Nate's a well-rounded kid. He's very bright, he's very social, he's interested in how things work in the school, and he's always interested in giving up his time to make our school and our school community better, so he's an excellent candidate.
The council is a direct voice from students that goes straight to the Minister of Education so he can get an awareness of what an everyday student goes through. He then takes the feedback to help create a positive impact for students.
I'm really hoping to bring a unique perspective on the school systems because it's from everywhere in Saskatchewan, so I really want to share my voice on what I think could make the school systems better or make a positive impact everywhere.
With a lot of teachers and parents' voices being heard in what the school systems and government should change, it's vital to have a student's perspective involved as well.
Student voice is important. We do a great job, I think, asking adults how things should work, and we educate our teachers and train our teachers with new techniques, assessment and planning and those sorts of things, but oftentimes the kids' voice is left out of how we should move forward with education in our province. So this is a very proactive and important program.
While helping the Ministry of Education, Nate also wants to help achieve some personal goals, such as mental health illness awareness, as he's previously volunteered with Project Sunrise.
Some of my own goals would be to just learn more about what the thoughts of everyone is and to just make people aware of stuff again like mental health issues or new things to learn, such as stuff like financial literacy or more technologies that we can be embraced to just make everything feel better.
The first council meeting will take place on Saturday. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Gamers were disappointed this long weekend when they found out that Fortnite had been temporarily shut down. Fortnite players were greeted with a black screen with nothing but a black hole in it. For the nearly 250 million active players, this came as a bit of a shock. Along with the in-game map being sucked into the black hole, Epic Games also shut down and deleted all of their media except for one stream. This stunt did have gamers wondering if Fortnite would stay down.
Crazy. It was really weird, and then I tried getting out and it didn't work, and there's just a black hole on my screen.
I know a lot of people that have spent a lot of good hard-earned money on like that, and I've kind of suggested to them that it's kind of silly to be wasting money on virtual things.
And I'm here just laughing because I've been waiting for the day for Fortnite to finally die. So I'm kind of glad it did kind of start to die down.
This whole event was just to promote the second season of Fortnite, with the game working normally again since this morning. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here with the Lloydminster and Area Archers, and now Dwayne Davison joins me. So first off, can you just tell us maybe a little history or a background as to the program and kind of why you wanted to start it up here in Lloydminster?
Well, the program of the archery club itself, the club has been around since the early 80s, and a few people before that were avid archers, and we've just developed over the years and got a very good membership now. In 2008, we built this building and started shooting in early 2009, and it's been a huge success story. You just don't find facilities like this around.
And especially with this facility, have you found that archery especially has grown here over the last, I guess, decade or so?
It's grown immensely due to the facility. We've had several national champions, and this year we actually have another gal that shoots, Erin McGlattery, that won the IBO World Championship this year. So pretty significant, but you got to have the facilities for everybody to get good and lots of practice.
Exactly, and now we've talked to, or we're going to be talking about an open house you guys are holding here and talking about your youth programs coming up. So what's the importance of, especially of getting the youth and the younger generation out here in a safe environment, learning to shoot?
Well, it's all about safety. Safety's number one, and get the youth out. And it's an individual sport. It can be a group sport and competition also, but it's individual, and the kids get disciplined, and they don't even realize they're getting disciplined. The youth are our future, and we certainly stay behind that.
All right, thank you for this, and we're going to have some more from back here again, continuing to talk about the open house and what is coming up here throughout the winter for the Lloydminster and Area Archers. But before we do get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thank you very much, eBay. Well, it's been dreary for most of the afternoon and evening, and it will continue to be so overnight. There's even an outside chance of a few showers, cloudy cover throughout the evening, lots of cover of cloud, plus a 0-degree temperature. But we are looking at a few days in the next week or so that could be well above seasonal averages and plenty of sunlight. So while, again, dreary today, could see better things on the road moving forward. Southeast winds have picked up. They're around 20 kilometers earlier this hour and have been picking up in terms of gusts over the last 10 or so minutes. So that will continue again for the next little while. 21 in 1986, your record high. That was back when the New York Mets beat the Houston Astros. Longest ever game in the history of MLB postseason play at that time. Went 16 innings. Of course, there's another New York team right now taking on the Astros in the New York Yankees. That was earlier today. Minus 12, your record low from 1992. Now your satellite and radar are showing again plenty of cloud cover, and despite this low pressure system making its way, it started to sort of peter off since passing Edmonton. So we're expecting an outside chance of some snowfall, but not any for sure measure coming down. A few of the current temperatures to look at here, 0 degrees. It's a little warmer up in the Lakeland region. Cold Lake sitting at 3, Meadow Lake at 4 degrees, North Battleford also at 4, Provost at 6, and Edmonton and Saskatoon have remained relatively steady this afternoon. 5 degrees in both cities, a little bit more sunlight in Saskatoon area. And as I said before, things are looking on the up and up, though of course there could be a little bit more cloud cover. We'll have to wait and see. 0 degrees as we start off the school day, but then 3 degrees by recess, 7 by lunchtime, and then when school's out, it should get up to 13 degrees. That's well above the seasonal average. We usually get to about 10 degrees this time of the year in Lloydminster. -1 for the low, then possibly 14 degrees on Thursday and 12 on Friday. After that, there should be a slow curtail, and a few days over the next couple of days here will be a little bit cooler and may have more cloud cover. That's been your 3-day forecast. 7-day coming up later on in the show.
Back. Well, the Alberta government has charged a community with improper use of pesticides, including the poison strychnine. The province says the village of Cereal in southeastern Alberta faces 12 charges under environmental protection laws and pesticide regulations. It says the village foreman and the caretaker of the village campground also face the charges that stem from June 2017. They include releasing substances that may cause a significant adverse effect and applying pesticides without proper approval and qualifications. Details of what happened were not immediately available. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Welcome back. Well, although fighting is not prevalent in hockey anymore, one Bobcat seems to be thriving in his role. Our Evan Kenny reports in this week's Beyond the Boards.
Today on Beyond the Boards, I'm joined here by Bobcats forward Sam Carper. Sam, thanks for joining me.
Yep, no problem.
So let's just start it off with, I'd like to call you an energy player. How would you describe yourself?
That's pretty much the word that comes to mind. I try to bring all the energy I can, on the bench and on the ice. The team needs a big hit, I go out and try to get it.
Carper is an 18-year-old rookie coming to the border city from Dayton, Ohio. He started the year off injured, but in his first game back, got into the thick of things.
Honestly, first fight I had, didn't really have a choice. Guy kind of just turned around, decided that we were going before I even knew what was going on. So that pretty much was just fell into my lap.
That's when Carper hit up his minor hockey coach and former professional tough guy, Mike Maroney. Some of his tips include how to grab someone and to worry about not getting hit.
His hands are real messed up, but his face isn't. So my first fight in Grand Prairie, I called him up right after because I lost real bad, and tried to pick up some pointers about how to not get punched in the face as much.
Now, Sam, in 5 games this season, you already have 2 fights. That's 2 of the AJHL's allowed 5 fights on the season, and I do believe you are leading the league in that category.
This is something head coach Nigel Dubé doesn't mind.
It's close to being eliminated out of the game in many areas. I think you look at it in the NHL, Calgary goes and gets Lucic for that reason, to protect Johnny Hockey, and he's done that to start off the year this year. And I think in junior hockey it's no different. There's some player protection in there, and a part of a game that keeps it honest, so guys aren't going out there and overly doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and keeping guys honest on both sides of the puck.
And when Dubé says fighting is leaving the game of hockey, he's not wrong. In the 2010-2011 NHL season, there were 645 fights in 1,230 games, with 117 games having multiple fights. Last season, there was 238 fights in 1,271 games, with only 22 games having multiple fights. Carper says he's not going out on the ice looking for fights. It's just something that happens in competition.
Oh, it's for sure in the moment. Never really go out looking for a fight and just play the game and see what happens. Yep.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is Sam Carper joining me on this week's Beyond the Boards.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Centre Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Centre Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
The Bishop Lloyd Lancers brought home a group silver medal and an individual bronze from the Saskatchewan High School Athletic Association's cross-country provincial championships on Saturday. The second place finish comes despite only having 4 students grades 7 to 9 compared to other 3A schools having students in grades 10 to 12. Ty Thiessen won midget boys bronze, anchoring a pleasant surprise win for the group.
I was the only one there. It's like everybody else had left, yeah.
I was pretty surprised because we only have 4 people on our team.
I didn't expect us to come in second in the division for our group. The kids really gave it their all and ran their best.
Each athlete was at or near personal best.
Prince Albert was a little bit more of a tricky course. So their times were a little bit different, but still really good compared to everyone else's.
12 additional LPSD runners took part, with Lloyd Comp finishing 13th overall among 5A schools. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here, and today we are talking with the Lloydminster and area archers, and now Tara Kikinger joins me. And so you guys have an open house here happening this weekend, so can you give us a little background on that?
Sure. So our open house is October 20th, that's Sunday, from 12 to 4. We have a free barbecue going on. We'll have our paper targets up, some of them for anybody to try, as well as quite a few of our 3D targets. We also have our youth program registration that day as well. So our youth program this year is 2 days. We have Mondays available and Wednesdays available. Mondays are going to be sponsored by Exile Outdoors, and two of our coaches, Corey Skinner and Colin Fraser, will be helping with coaching the youth on the Monday nights. And Wednesdays we have Vance Rendell. So he's been around forever, teaching the kids how to shoot.
That's awesome. And now, what ages are you guys looking for the youth program here?
So the youth program starts ages 6 to 21. With our program, it's like $200 to join, and then a $90 membership. That's to LAA. And the membership includes your LAA membership, Lloyd Fish and Game membership, and either Saskatchewan Archery or Alberta Archery, depending on which province you're at. So what's nice about that, especially for the youth, is Lloyd Fish and Game also have different programs going on throughout the year for youth. So the kids will be able to go into some of those programs. Saskatchewan and Alberta both have competitions throughout the year. Usually in March we host a national championship, so as long as you have a Saskatchewan Archery membership or Alberta, you can actually come out here and shoot.
All right, awesome. Thank you for this, and we are going to have some more from back here once again, but before that we're going to head back into the studio.
Quick look at your watches and morning boards, and there's nothing to see, so we'll move right on. Should be a clear evening coming up, a chance of some showers, but then as we get into the later morning, it should clear up, and it should be a clear couple of days, I should say, with plenty of sunlight on the horizon. There is this low pressure system to keep an eye on. Most of that is making its way north, and it shouldn't affect our region as much as it will maybe the Lakeland region, but certainly other northern areas in Lloydminster, and it's certainly obviously going to affect BC in the meantime. You can see a closer look here. So some cloud cover upcoming over the course of the evening. By the time we get to 3 or 4 a.m., it starts to clear off, and it should be relatively clear after that. Another look as well at your next 24 hours. So things cooling down quickly. That 2 degrees, I'm not sure if that's quite accurate. As we get into about 4 a.m., things will get into the minus territory, but back to 0 by the time your kids are off to school, and then into the lower end of 9 to 10 temperatures, 9 to 10 degrees rather, by about 3 o'clock, and then into the low teens after that. So a good progression certainly from what we're used to this time of the year. A few temperatures in the region. Vermilion at 2 degrees, Vegreville at 3, St. Paul at 2 degrees as well. Relatively consistent in the Lakeland region, both Cold Lake and Bonnyville at 3 degrees. At the moment, Lac La Biche 2 degrees, 5 in Edmonton. And on the Sask side, overall a little bit cooler, 1 in St. Walburg, 3 in both Green Lake and in Isle. Cross, Maidstone the same temperature. Macklin though sitting at 5 degrees, North Battleford still at 4, and Lloydminster sitting at 0 degrees. Now some winds out of the south-southeast. Those will transition to just directly from the south by tomorrow. A slight pickup in wind overnight where there could be some showers and a low of -2, but 13 degrees tomorrow for the high. Plenty of sunlight expected and a calm down in those wind speeds. So other than some gusts, it should be below 10 kilometers per hour in terms of winds in the Battleford's region. 3 degrees in Cold Lake, as said before. Wind out of the southeast, also going to slowly calm down overnight. So around 22 kilometers at the moment, should be 7 kilometers by the morning and early afternoon. Chance of some showers, maybe even some snowfall overnight. So if you happen to be driving, keep your eye out for alerts. 0 degrees the low there, but right back up to 12 degrees. Tomorrow, a few clouds in the sky, but it should be relatively sunny once again. And in the border cities, similar progression here. 28 kilometers, shifting to 17 kilometers, and then 9 by tomorrow. -1 the low, and 13 degrees for the high tomorrow. 14 on Thursday, then 12 Friday. Slight cool down after that. 9 degrees and a low of 0 on Saturday, and then closer to those cooler temperatures we've just seen. 5 degrees on Sunday, 7 Monday, and then 6 Tuesday with another low of 0. So slightly above average and slightly below average is your 7 days coming up here. And that has been your 7-day forecast.
Governor General Julie Payette received the symbolic first poppy from the Royal Canadian Legion's Dominion President in Ottawa this morning. During the presentation at Rideau Hall, the 2019 digital poppy was unveiled. The Governor General accepted the red poppy and pinned additional poppies to the lapels of veterans in the audience. The Legion's National Poppy Campaign begins each year on the last Friday in October. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here with the Lloydminster and area archers, and now it's my turn to take an attempt here at shooting the bow and arrow, and now Dwayne Davison joins me here once again. So I guess what's our first step here?
First step is manage your shooting line, and you straddle the line so that everybody's shooting from the same position, and you keep square to your body, okay? So your bow you put out, a nice comfortable position, so that it's you're not gripping it like a baseball bat or anything like that. It's just a nice comfortable grip. Arm stays straight out the whole time. And when you grab an arrow, you come up and you put your elbow straight even with your shoulder, and you put 3 fingers on your string, a 1/4 inch below the nock, and you pull, 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 pull like that, aim and release. And your arm should go back once you release.
And so what is the importance there? You mentioned keeping that elbow up and the importance of, I guess, having that low or straight platform there as you're shooting.
It's repetition shooting, so that you're not shooting up and down with your elbow and that, because that all makes for a poor arrow flight. So if you do exactly the same thing, you mark on your cheek the same way every time, everything's the same. So it's just keeping things exactly the same, and you'll shoot well. Knock your arrow below the nock.
And so what else are you supposed to remember there too when you're knocking this arrow, especially with the fletching?
When you're fletching, the single color fletching goes away from the bow. You don't want it pointing this way, whether you're left-handed, right-handed. That single color always goes away from the bow.
All right, and now what's the next step?
Next step is you reach forward, grab your string, 3 fingers on the pads of your fingers, and you start pulling, elbow straight up, and pull back, pull, 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 aim, and release. Nice arrow flight.
Just like that. Awesome. Well, had a great teacher.
Right on.
Thank you for that. And we are going to have some more from back here once again with the Lloydminster and area archers. But before we do get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Many responses to our question of the day. Thank you for that, folks. So did you vote in the advanced polls? And if not, going to vote for the election. We have a few comments just to read really quickly here. Shelby Atkinson voted on Saturday. Shout out to all the volunteers. Obviously, there were hundreds of thousands of volunteers across the country who donated their time. Wendy Unros had already voted. Shannon Smith McNally says she voted. Marty Lammy was not voted. He will be voting on the 21st. Betty Brannock Swanson, Maxine Noble, Kimberly Sarah Schroer. A lot of people saying they voted on the weekend. Obviously, as we kind of talked off camera, 4.7 million Canadians, so a really good turnout at advanced polls.
I think this election is going to see the biggest turnout through the advanced polling and on the 21st. I think a lot more people, through what I've seen, are really into this election, and it's really important. And so I think it's great that voter numbers are going up instead of going down, and 29% from last year from the last election is huge, which is awesome.
Absolutely, and maybe it shows just an increase not only in that people care about the election, but they're also whether you say we're more polarized or not, are more involved with what the country looks like in terms of a political landscape.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll, of course, jump right off to something totally unrelated, and that is Pet of the Day. Gemma is up first.
Gorgeous dog. I love the pink bow on her collar. Super cute.
Marley's up next and ready for winter.
Love the toque. Just so cute. Just adorable.
Smokey is third.
Gorgeous green eyes. I love cat's eyes. Super adorable.
And Bobblehead, the next appearance.
Very adorable. Big, big eyes. Very cute.
And we'll end with a dog, and that is Peanut.
Love the position of the dog on her back. Super cute looking up at the camera.
Remember, need both the pic and the name to have a shot at that free gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Today I'm joined here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in Raphael, this adorable tabby cat, just super cute. Tell me a little bit about how Raphael came to the SPCA.
Yeah, so he came in, excuse me, with all of his siblings. So actually throughout this week, all of the rest of his siblings and his mom have all been adopted. So he's just the last one left. But yeah, they came in fairly young, so they were in foster for a little while. And then, yeah, they've come up, and he's about 3.5 months old now, and he's ready for his new home.
And what sort of personality does he have? He did seem really calm, did like exploring, but definitely loved being held as well.
Yeah, he's good with, again, all of the above. He's very playful. He's in a condo right now with kittens and like a little bit older kittens that aren't even his siblings, and he loves playing with them. So he basically just wants to play all the time.
And have you noticed any reaction to maybe dogs bark or even going near a dog?
Yeah, like on the odd time, you know, the dogs come by, they all get a little spiky and look like little Halloween kitties kind of thing, but no full on trying to attack or anything. So I think with enough exposure and slow introductions, he would be fine.
And so you just had your fall feline frenzy.
Yes.
Was that as successful as Clear Our Shelter event, or?
Yeah, almost. I mean, obviously we had a bit more than what we had for the Clear Our Shelters. So in the end, we did 41 adoptions, which I think was about 10 more probably than our Clear Our Shelters event. We still have a handful that are ready for adoption still, but I mean, again, like literally a handful. So it was really, really successful. Altogether, we did 44 adoptions. So a few pooches found their homes at the same time as well. But yeah, it was, I would definitely consider it a success. Oh, wow.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about you also being full with dogs as well this time around.
Yeah, so we last week we kind of seemed to have a bit of an influx. Again, like we are trying to track down a couple owners here and there, but yeah, for the most part, we think they're all going to stick around, and so we got a few dogs up for viewing right now.
And you have an adoption event happening this weekend.
Yes.
Just give a little bit of details on that.
Yeah, so we'll be at Pet Value this weekend, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday we'll be there from 12 to 4, and then Sunday we'll be there from 12 until 3.
And you have another event also coming up as well.
Yeah, we're having another cat brewery at 4th Meridian Brewing Co. So we're going to be there with a few of our adoptables, what we have left anyway, kind of thing. But we're lucky in the sense that, you know, they're younger cats kind of thing, so they all should get along and run around and hang out with everybody that comes to visit.
And that seemed to be a pretty successful event the first time around.
Yeah.
What can people expect this time?
I mean, again, we're just like I'm gonna try and brainstorm a couple extra little things here and there for it. But yeah, it's basically you're just coming to hang out and support the SPCA. And come pet and play with some kitties while we're having a beverage.
And when was that event and what time?
That's on Tuesday, October 22nd, and it's from about 4 until 9 at night. Yeah.
And will Raphael be available, or?
Well, he's going to go hang out at PetSmart, so he might not be there himself, but like I said, we do have a few more adoptables at the shelter that are going to be going.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing in Raphael.
Yes.
And hopefully the adoption event this weekend goes great, and maybe give some pets their new homes.
Yeah, adopt out what we have left.
Yeah.